This is Hidden Killers Live with Tony Brueski, Stacey Cole, and Todd Michaels.
Let's go on to another case that is making a lot of headlines and making a lot of people angry enough to go out in the cold and hang out outside the courthouse in Stillwater, Oklahoma, with large signs screaming and yelling. A essay that took place there, strangulation, video evidence, and a plea deal so lenient. People in Oklahoma are outraged. 18-year-old Jesse Butler, once facing nearly 80 years behind bars after allegedly essaying, sodomizing, and using instruments during the assault and strangling a 16-year-old to near death. She had to have surgery. He's walked away with no prison time. Instead, community service, counseling, youthful offender status. How did this happen? Who made the deal? And what messages does this send to survivors, especially the two young women who now have to live in this same small community with this monster? To justice, to the community, what is going on? Jennifer Coffindaffer, retired FBI special agent, with us. Let's walk through the starkest contrast here. An alleged crime so violent and so graphic, coupled with a plea resolution so minimal. By law and practice, how does something like this even come together, Jennifer?
Well, how it happens is you have a defense attorney that is working their magic and or has some sort of relationship, which they often do with the prosecutor, right? Whenever you have a prosecution, this is Stillwater, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Whenever you have a DA's office, those line prosecutors, they come to know defense attorneys. And through that relationship, I believe, they made the agreement that Jesse would be changed in status. He was initially charged as an adult. They changed it to what we call a YO, a youthful offender status. That then put in motion having him not get 1 day behind bars, which is sickening. And the judge approved it. By the way, female DA, female judge.
Yeah.
Jaw dropping what happened here.
That's what really makes me go, huh? And I told this case over the weekend to some folks that we were discussing, and I'm like, and it's a female DA and a female judge. Like, what the hell is happening here? I mean, is this people? It's not even following the letter of the law. It's not like, well, these are the only paths we're allowed to go down, so we have to go down them. They have levers they can pull. This happened to be one of the levers they could pull. Youthful offender. Technically, it was available. Youthful offender status does exist for certain crimes. This probably would not be one of them, but technically it's on the menu, right?
This isn't stealing a candy bar for F's sake. I mean,
no.
To me, this just screams somebody in the family is prominent in the community. Therefore, we're just going to do a little slap on the wrist and, stay out of trouble and you'll be fine. We'll take care of you. That's what that screams to me.
Well,
off base?
Well, no, I don't think you're off base. It's hard to tell in this case whether the judge had exactly what the judge's ties were. But it is interesting because some judges, they just are clueless as to the decisions they make and what that leads to. I'll give you an example. The case Baby Haro, Emmanuel Haro. That judge literally gave somebody who beat somebody so far to death, her name was Promise, his little girl, so far to the point of death that to this day, she will never walk, she will never talk. She unfortunately has been so damaged. And that judge says in court, this is all available to see, essentially, okay, listen, you messed up. Listen, if you mess up again, you got 6 years hanging over you. So please go out and be a good guy. That guy didn't get any jail time either. And you're seeing the same thing here. So is it just the stupidity and the incompetence and the, a judge that has never seen the realities of this that hands down the sentence? Or is it something more devious, like you're alluding to, that there was some sort of quid pro quo or deal
I've seen people get more time for marijuana possession
Oh yeah,
than for this shit.
easily.
I'm getting charged up, so I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like, rawr, but seriously, what the F is happening here?
No, it's terrible. And in this case too, guess how long he has to serve?
Nothing.
And when I say serve, no, I mean, but serve under this quote unquote detention. So he's on home detention. Okay. And it's supposed to expire when he turns 19. Well, he's getting close to that already. And what does it say in the order? He can't game. He can't be on videos. Isn't it shocking? That's what they're concerned about. And the fact, do you think Mama, who sat on the porch and said, honey, when he was taken off, which by the way, this was so well orchestrated. They ring the doorbell.
I know.
They're going to be there.
That's what made, I think, it's so enraging to everyone. If that police body cam video did not come out, I don't think everyone would be as upset as they are, because we're just seeing just privilege, in motion. Okay, well, we're gonna have to take you down. We're gonna had he been brown, black, or anything other than white and living in that neighborhood, I think his face would have been planted into the concrete of that porch, and cuffs would have been on his ass, and they would have been stomping on his head and kneeling on it and then pulling him out. Not, okay, little boy, let's go here. Did you hit a homer this weekend? It's insane. The kid gloves they handled this monster with. And it was women that were handling it too, which was also like, are you freaking kidding me?
I would have kicked him in the nads so fast if I had access to him.
Does anyone have any clue the trauma which this kid put these other people through? Or the only thing that can run through my mind on this shit, and I'm not far from Stillwater, it's about a 3-hour drive. I considered driving over there the other day, but I have other shit to do here. Is this level of abuse, this level of depravity, this level of boys will be boys mentality just such a normal part of the culture and mentality that even the women are like, well, boys will be boys?
Well, Tony, in this part of the country in Oklahoma, and I was raised in Kansas and Nebraska.
Yep.
Look, there used to be a philosophy that it was impossible to sexually assault, RAPE, a woman.
Yeah.
I am not even kidding you.
I know.
Like, oh, well, she must have said yes, or, she physically let it happen, right? Absolutely. That's what the system is trying to overcome now. That whole mentality, it still exists. Blame the girls. And these girls, I tell you, if I lived in Stillwater or in Oklahoma and that happened to me, I wouldn't want to tell anyone. Because it's going to happen.
Well, now people are going to come forward.
Yeah. It's tragic, the ripple effect this will have on other cases.
Yep.
I hope that DA is removed. I hope that judge is removed. Nobody should be able to stand for this. And it's terrible.
Well, and what can be done now at this point? At the end of the day, the order is sealed. The agreement has been made. It is what it is. You can't go back and retry him on this. Now, the odds of him reoffending are sky high. The odds are, it'll probably happen, and it'll probably go down for that after there's another victim. But as of right now, you still got the judge on the bench. You still got the DA. Some of these are elected positions. I think both actually are. Other than voting, what can be done other than scream and publicly shame the living shit out of these people?
Right. The bottom line is there's no way to go backwards. That would be double jeopardy. He's already been adjudicated. So there's no way to go backwards. The only way things could change, Tony, is there another victim out there? We know there were 2 victims. Was there any other victims? So, and will they even come forward after this travesty? So that's the only way. But I tell you, a guy like this who enjoys strangling their partner to the point of them almost dying. And for those of you who don't know about strangulation, just within cutting off the carotid, that oxygen to the brain, within seconds, and I teach this in class, we strangle each other. We use belts, ligaments, we use our hands, because I want you to understand that feeling when you're in a controlled classroom for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, right? It takes your breath away. It takes your cognitive ability away, but you're not dead. You're just unconscious. Then you have to continue strangling for a long period of time to actually have somebody become unalived. So when you think about that, that is what brought him his sexual pleasure. This is a Bundy, Hurman type mentality in the making.
Yeah, we
I want to
have
know what
not
the
heard
hell's
the
going
last
on
of
in
this guy.
No, you haven't. I want to know what the hell's going on in that home, that this is the monster it created. And I'm not accusing the parents of anything. I'm just saying I want to know what the hell's going on in that home, that this is the monster that was created. And maybe nothing at all. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe that is what was going on in the home. Nothing. And this little piece of shit was left to his own abilities to wander into the online world of all of that and discover, oh, this is what I'm into, or have his brain be tricked into thinking this is what this is like in the real world, as so many idiotic young boys are now. And then they think, oh, strangulation is just part of the act. I mean, the fact that this moron wanted to tape it, too. It wasn't just, I saw this online and I'm 16, 17 and an idiot. It's like, and I want to get it on video. I mean, he's a special type of predator that ain't going to be stopped by a year of let's, go sit in your parents' basement and play Nintendo, or he's not allowed to play Nintendo.
He can't do that.
He can't play Nintendo. Maybe if it's offline, maybe he has to go to the ones like old school, like he has to play Atari or something that doesn't have an online element to it. But none of this is going to be fixed. I don't know. I mean, it's utterly shocking that this is how they're going to handle it. But your point being, if there is another person out there, if there is another victim out there, trust me, you will be heard. This system does not want to look as shitty as it does right now. Yeah. And if one more person out there was violated by this creep, even at the smallest of levels, please come forward. You can be the one that puts this fucker away for the rest of his life. Because I think they're probably chomping at the bit for that to happen so they can go, something needs to correct this horrible, horrible decision that we have half the villagers with pitchforks and flames out in front of our law office for, or the courthouse for.
Well, and don't forget, too, one of the things that I saw last week, and I saw even more of it this weekend, is there is an online presence of women with pitchforks. They've put pictures of him, videos of him, talking to moms, daughters, sisters, anybody who has a woman in their life. If you are anywhere near the vicinity of this man, this boy, this child, whatever you want to call him, this monster.
He's a man. He's 18.
Okay. Don't date him. Don't talk to him. Avoid him. I mean, this guy, he is plagued forever. If anybody has an online presence, they've seen the videos. I've seen them so many times I can't even count. And I'm not even anywhere near Stillwater.
You know the reason, though, I'll say he's not plagued? If they decide to move, it literally, all it takes is going into a courthouse and changing his name. He can officially get a name change. It's so easy. Just walk in, say you want your name changed, and walk out, and you're a different name. He can change his appearance to some degree. But I can tell you, as you guys know, unless you're a true crimer, I say this all the time, unless you're a political advocate, unless you're a newsie, so many people, if you walk on a plane right now and say, has anybody heard of Jesse Butler? I promise you, maybe no one will raise their hand.
No, you're right. You're exactly right. But in that community, everybody knows him. So at the very least, his life is hell. and he's going to have to move if he wants to have any semblance of normalcy, and he's going to have to change his name. And every time he says his name for the rest of his life, he's going to know why he had to change that name, and probably have to change it again and again and again and again, because people like this don't tend to change. So I'm glad. And here's the other fun part of the world we live in. Changing your name doesn't always fix it anymore. No. I mean, the identity, your facial features, all that can be searched. You can do search recognition just on a face. And you're right. He could change his looks. He could get a bunch of Botox, make his eyebrows get really high up, and do true crime for the rest of his life. We've seen that happen. But
whoa!
Wait, what?
See what I did there? Anyway,
I got it.
Little Botox changes everything. But the thing is, I mean, he could do those sorts of things, but there will be a level where this will follow him. I hope, anyway, for the rest of his life. An interesting thought I had on this too, and I'm curious to get your take, Jen. Had he gotten some sort of punishment, because I doubt it would have ended up being 78 years. It probably would have been something for being a youth. He would have gotten some time, maybe 5-10 years. Would that have been a better punishment? Because we wouldn't be talking about it. It wouldn't be all over the news. It was like it made world news tonight. I mean, because of the buzz on this, it hit the evening news literally, and cases like this typically don't get there unless there's a lot of outrage. Now, the amount of outrage that is here and that will live forever online when searching this guy up or his image, it's there. None of that would have been there had he actually gotten some sort of punishment. And I'm not saying 5 to 10 years is reasonable. I think full 78 would have been fine. But something.
Yeah.
I think he would have had a better chance of going on and living a somewhat normal life after that. After this shit show, again, change his name. He's going to have to go somewhere else. That's going to be about the only way to live any sort of semblance of normalcy.
A couple of things. First of all, poor baby. He has to change his name. Poor baby. He's not going to want to have this look. He's going to have to hit a tanning booth. I mean, the bottom line is this kid, we haven't stopped seeing him. I will bet a lot that he will reoffend within the next couple of years.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to even give him. I don't even know if I'm going to give him that. And this is what's really terrible. My understanding is did you know this? He is actually, as long as he makes it another year or so, I don't even think it's a year left, he's going to get this expunged from his record.
Oh my God.
Did you know that?
He
will be expunged, and he will not have to be on a sexual registry.
I don't get.
When you look at the whole picture of this, how this judge and this DA has worked to cause this monster to be able to be out and victimize others, it's mind-boggling. And I'm glad everybody is so shooken up about it.
Everybody needs to look at the record of the DA and the judge as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of leniency in this department.
Who else did they do this to?
And people like that. I mean, other than, again, I and it's weird because it's like, I don't believe like public shaming should be our modality for fixing problems, but I feel like, well, if the system's not working, this seems to be all that's left. And unfortunately, that seems to be where we're sitting on this, other than another victim coming forward and saying, this fucker did this to me too, which if you're out there, please do. And you will be believed. Trust me. If anyone's going to be believed right now, you hold all the power in the world. Yeah. Other than that, is there any other thing that could happen here? Could we see any sort of federal charges be brought against him for this, since the state has obviously been derelict in their duty in handling this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I see no federal charge that would fit these parameters. He didn't cross state lines. Mm-hmm. Again, these girls, he was involved with them, at least initially, for months, one, a year, other, and then these sorts of horrible, violent acts began against them. and they had the courage to go forward. And those girls are now going to live a horrible life of counseling, of issues, of neck issues. She had to have surgery, of God knows other issues that they might have. Remember, instruments were used, sodomy.
He didn't cross state lines in this incident, but he was on the baseball team. And I don't know if they play outside of Oklahoma. I don't know how they're set up. I don't know nothing about this team. Some do. Some play, interstate wise into different teams and things like that. Just saying, I think that might be something to look at if anyone's looking to investigate this case and look at, did he cross a state line on one of those trips? Were they ever, sometimes if you're staying overnight, you're staying at a hotel. A lot of times it's just the team together, but sometimes they're able to, I don't know. I'm just saying there may have been opportunities where he may have crossed state lines. And if you're doing this sort of shit on the regular, it's not unquestionable that you might be doing it across state lines on the regular as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like you said, because this has blown up, in terms of the media, and that's what the wonderful thing social media and mainstream media can do, bring eyes on issues like this. Maybe somebody will come forward, like you said.
I think it's something to look at. If you've seen this monster, if you had any interactions with him in the state, without a doubt. If you're outside of the state, even better, because that's where it can become federal territory, because you're crossing state lines and he's doing that sort of shit. So, and I'm not saying this with glee if someone was violated by this monster, but I'm saying you have the power to take one down and basically hit a home run right now. And just literally, not trying to make a pun of a sport, but you can knock one out of the park and knock him out of the park too. So he can't do this to anybody else, because guess what? He's on deck to do it again right now.
Oh, and he will. We'll be doing stories about him. Somebody in our comment section, Rose City, said, we will read about him when he becomes a serial killer. We will have a channel about him in years.
Start one right now. Let's get the audience prepped and primed. We've been following him since he was doing this. Who would have ever thought? It's a crazy case, and another one where the system absolutely failed and has left everyone going, how do we fix this? Jennifer Coffindaffer, as always, thank you for coming on and giving us your insight. You guys let us know your thoughts in the comments section on YouTube. Be sure to check out Jennifer's channel, Break the Case, wherever you get podcasts, and also on YouTube, where you can check out her podcast as well and her coverage of this and many cases as well. Break the Case with Jennifer Coffindaffer. Go and find that. Until next time, for all of us, I'm Tony Brueski. We'll talk again real soon.
Want more on this case and others? Then press subscribe now and don't miss a moment of true crime coverage from Tony Brueski and the Hidden Killers podcast.